Have you ever wanted to design your dream house? Unfamiliar with the process? Designing your house is a long, complicated process. Back and forth meeting, confusing documentations, tight schedule, always on the phone call. If you find yourself in this predicament, we can make it simple for you. Introducing ARCHIFLEX. We strive to simplify your home owning process, a house that satisfies your needs and lifestyle. We aim to improve customer experience by providing fast, reliable, and convenient design services.
How it works.
From a simple click, you can access our large database containing all kinds of styles. At whatever size, whatever budget, it's up to you.
ARCHIFLEX is a fast, reliable, and cheap way to design my dream house. The design process through the website is very fast, convenient, and hassle-free. And the best part is that I'm able to view the final design through the visual reality walkthrough. I would recommend this online service to my colleagues and friends who want to design their dream house.
Here at ARCHIFLEX, we never stop expanding the horizon. We experimented advanced 3D printing technologies that are more precise. We are offering exclusive staycation experience. We currently have 5 prototypes across Thailand. After 3 years of experience, we have mastered the craft of 3D printing. Our dedicated engineering team makes us the forerunners of 3D printing technology in Southeast Asia. So why wait? Your dream house is a few clicks away.
3 of you, I am Joe, I am To, and Mr. Elder, okay, will be like observer to see if all the elements that the students are talking are well connected, or there are some gaps that still need to be clear, no, or clarified, okay? This subject is project management. Okay, basically here the students are learning how to manage a project, no? From the scope, from the time, from the cost, from the manpower, quality, no? Equipment, materials. Okay, so but all these things must be integrated in a company, no? So every project will be related with the nature, with the field that the company are doing. So basically, this assignment is like the 3 students were we're seeing a vision of a company. So they create what is the company vision, no? A portfolio about what kind of projects the company is going to do. Okay, and after that, they create a kind of system and they generate different projects. And supposed to be, I mean, every single project has been developed in this detail, no? That the scope of each project, the time, how much is the cost, which one are the constraints, the limitations, the things that they need to deal. And then also they need to learn how to package, no? How to sell this project, no? To others.
I see.
Okay. So basically, this will be the things that these 3 gentlemen, I mean, Kawin, Ola, and Eric, should convince you, 3 of you, to see if you guys are going to buy this product, or you guys are going to invest or develop in this product, or they need to go to do more details, no? Because maybe the connections are not well done. Okay.
All right. Good, good,
So,
good. How did the student work? How did the student work as a team or individual?
No, this is a teamwork.
This is a teamwork. Okay,
Yes, because one thing of the project management is that you need to work in teams, especially multinational teams. So here we have a good sample, no? Because we have Kawin from Thailand,
Very international. Yes, it is.
From Malaysia, and Olaide, Nigeria, right?
Nigeria, right.
This is the proof if these tools and this knowledge of project management work or not, no? Hola, Eric, Kawin, ready?
So good afternoon, gentlemen. We're going to start off our presentation by a short video, a promotional video that we created.
Okay, how does it work? So like Kawin mentioned, we have a website that contains quite a large database. And basically the customers can come here and, look around. And if they're interested in designing their own custom house, they can start by putting in their information in the inquiries, maybe preferred budget, preferred style, and so on. And then they will receive a notification and they would move on to a site visit, which is optional, which the architect can come and kind of look around. And then the program would actually generate models based on like the conditions and create schematics for the users to use, and the users can use things like VR to look through the spaces itself to decide if they wanted to use if they want to change anything about the generated house or not. So in here, this is a review, but it's the sound is not coming through, but basically it's a positive review saying like the main selling point of this project, the positives is mainly the speed of the process and also the cost. So the way that we cut the cost down for the customers to make it more attractive, basically, because custom houses nowadays are usually really expensive and it takes a long time. It's a long process of discussion and all that. And we also have a second phase of our project which is to integrate 3D printing as well as custom houses. So in the future, we would like to go into 3D printing in order to design these houses, and we're planning to make like prototypes for testing, for renting out these prototypes to the users for them to give feedback. Basically, it's a 1 or 2 days experience where they can rent the space, almost like a holiday space, holiday house. And yeah, so that's the plan for the company. So the company is broken down into 3 phases, which we will explain later. Okay, so from now we're gonna start going into the details of all the different components of the project for example, cost, resource, and the timeline and so on. So how we're gonna develop this project over time, including the budget management and so on.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I would like to elaborate more on the idea of what we're doing. So generally, doing this, we try to fix or solve some issue that we see happening. So some of the issue we see nowadays is that the designing process could be a huge inconvenience. Therefore, a lot of people rather just buy a house, a pre-made house, a pre-built house, or by a developer, instead of designing their own home. Second issue is that it's a long, dragging processing duration, right? And this comes with a high price tag, a high cost for especially for custom homes. And lastly, we feel that there's a lack of involvement or client experience towards designing the process. So mostly, if you meet an architect, you still get some involvement, but we see opportunity to further this kind of immersive experience. So the idea here is to create this kind of a website and bringing this design online, as we see through multiple market analysis and many industry where you start seeing a trend where we start to bring things online. We could look into fashion industry, automotive industry, and it's quite successful according to many statistics, right? So we see that there's an opportunity there. And the solution that we're targeting is to create a fully personalized dream house, quick and hassle-free design process, an easy budgeting and easy estimation of the price starting from the initial stage of the project, and lastly, a reliability and excellent customer service. So here we want to show you some data collection that we made. We put our survey out there to see feedbacks. So here are some questions that we asked. For example, do you prefer the custom tailored house? Would you buy a house designed through online platform? And from this response, we saw that quite a majority of people is intrigued in this kind of idea, and of course they prefer custom home over the pre-designed home. Well, this data regards to the third phase of the project, but it's about our 3D printing as well. So as you can see here, there are demands for this kind of 3D printing, but the issue here is that that people are still new to the idea of this 3D printing. So this is a conclusion that I just mentioned. Now talking about the online website, right now on the current market there is very similar products out there. So right now I don't know if you are aware of this, but there are trends of people selling house plan on a online platform, for example, Amazon, Lazada. But these are very like cookie cutter designs, right? Where you could just place it on any plot of land. Now, apart from that kind of idea, we have a more customizable idea where we have these like example website where they do very similar thing. They let you pick what kind of style of architecture you want, the size of the project, what kind of rooms do you want, how many cars do you have for the car park, and things like that. But the issue with these websites is that they're not that customizable, and they don't consider your surrounding or your context, and there's absolutely no supporting service at all. So it's basically you just buying plans that is already there and just placing onto your site, which is not as effective. So our proposal is this. Eric, you want to go on?
Oh, okay, sorry. So after talking about all the issues and the existing conditions basically in the market, so this is our proposal, as you can see in the video just now. So the company name is ARCHIFLEX, and this is the vision and mission. So the vision is to become a one-stop service for custom residential design and construction in the future through online platform. So basically, we want to try to make the whole process. It's the word one-stop service means that we try to integrate everything together, so the client wouldn't have to necessarily reach out to a lot of different parties in order to get this whole process done, which is obviously off-putting and it's quite long, like he mentioned. And the mission, on the other hand, we aim to improve the customer experience by providing a fast, reliable, and convenient design service. I think speed, like I mentioned, is something that's quite important and something that could move the customer towards, customizing their own house or design a custom house. And the convenience obviously is coming through the website as well. So we try to have a lot of different ways to like aid the customer, and it doesn't have to be necessarily 100% online. So we have some kind of like options so that if they want to meet up, they can do it. So we try to make it flexible. Okay, so this is the strategic intent of the website of the company. Sorry. And it's divided into 3 phases, like we mentioned. So there's 3 parts. The portfolio has 3 different components. The main one is going to be the website, which is the first phase of the project, and it's going to be focusing on only residential designs and many different projects under that. But moving on to the second phase, like we mentioned, we want to try and start moving into the realm of 3D printing. So one thing we do is, which is the second phase of the project, is a prototype rental. So we want to create prototype 3D printed, structures or smaller spaces and rent it out to the public. This could be getting feedback. It's a way of marketing as well. So we want to create a lot of design experiments and see how the market would respond to this. And after the second phase, which is the prototype rental, we want to move to the third phase, which is like 3D construction. So applying 3D printing in a larger way, in a mass way. So again, we want to integrate this 3D construction with the website itself. So whenever a customer wants to make a custom house, they can also choose the option to have it 3D printed. And this would massively reduce the cost and construction time, obviously. And some of the programs is focused on residential, but we could also do like a smaller modular office spaces or something more structural, just like maybe for exhibitions and so on. So this is like the overview of the company and our strategic intent over time. And like I mentioned before, this is the project phases summarized. First one is the online design service, which is focused on a website. Phase 2 is the 3D printed rental service. And then the third phase would be, applying this 3D printing to the mass, for practical usage.
Okay, so the SWOT analysis. So obviously the strength here, like Eric just mentioned, we talk about customization, we talk about customer interaction, we talk about convenience sake, flexibility in pricing, and generally the intention of these three phases is that we create this one-stop service. So it's design service, it's construction service, it's everything you need to, generate a house for yourself. The opportunity here is that there is an abundance of potential specialized partnership. We looked into brands like IKEA that does something already similar. If you know about it, they do like this kind of like IKEA online the design changing, things like that. Secondly, right now this idea is quite new, especially here in Thailand. So the competition is really low. And with the new availability of newer technologies such as VR and 3D printing, I think we could really take advantage of this. The weakness of this idea is that when you deal with online things, that it could go wrong in many ways. For example, program malfunction and instability. And when we talk about 3D machinery, it's quite expensive and it's very limited in this part of the world. And the dependency on online database, obviously. The threat is talking about how, because it's such a new idea and new technology, people are not used to this and people are not aware of these kind of products and ideas. And that could lead to uncertainty and they might not be able to trust it in the first place. Eric?
Yeah, okay. Next, we're moving on to the business canvas. So this is an overview from the business perspective of the company itself. So this is the 9 breakdown that we're gonna talk about. So key partner, key activities, value proposition, key resources, channel, customer relationship, customer segments, cost structure, and revenue streams. So firstly would be the key partners, like Kawin mentioned. This project actually opens up to a lot of different potential partnerships that we can have. One major one, we broke it down into 2 different sides. So one is for the online design service and one for the 3D printing. And for the online design service, the partners would be focusing on, the companies that are providing customization to your house, whether it is furbishing, whether it is the construction material finishing. And we could also look into the advertising side of the partners, for example, the magazines that could cover our business and spread awareness. And on the other side, 3D printing, we also have potential partners. One of them is SCG, which is Siam Cement Group. It's a company, a local company that does cement processing and so on. And upon research, we actually found that they're also trying to do experiments with 3D printing as well. And they're developing special mixes for the cement. So I think they are one of the very large partners that we're going to focus on to work alongside them in this 3D printing project. And obviously, partnership is going to come from the 3D printing company. So we're going to have to reach out to them because as of now in Thailand, the supply is really quite lacking. So most of the supply is overseas for the 3D printing machines. And potential partnership, no, okay. Some other potential partnership would be, Airbnb. When we talk about the rental service, we could collaborate with them to provide maybe promotions to attract people and so on. Yeah, sorry, next. Key activities. So this is the key activities that we are providing in the company. So the first one is obviously, this is in the perspective of the user. So the first one is obviously design personalization to the website that we mentioned. So
Lastly, I would like to show you a prototype of the website that we created, and the aim of this should show you the holistic view of our three phases combined together. So as you can see here, this is a home page. This is what we talked about. If you insert all your information here, the computer will automatically generate a design for you after a certain amount of time, which shouldn't take too long, right? And you will receive a notification once it's done. Here in the homepage, you can see a couple of featured projects. The first one would be one of the prototype 3D houses. So these are mixes of 3D printing houses and also conventional structures that is combined with 3D printing. If you go to the design database here, you could browse it through we're aiming at over 60,000 projects on a database, and it will continue to grow with our website, right? The longer it stays, the more updated the database would be. So these are for browsing purposes, and also it could be a baseline for the computer generated 3D model. Okay, the portfolio we talked about 3D printing as mentioned. Now in terms of conventional architecture, we looked into residential home, some small office buildings, luxury housings, and prototype villa mentioned in phase 2. This you can see, in this part you can see the whole idea of phase 2. So the phase 2 is used to promote phase 3 or try to get people familiar with the idea of 3D printing, because the technology is quite new, right? And people seem to be afraid of trying new things. So this is a way for people to try it out. So the intention of phase 2, we don't intend to gain profit from this. So we hope this phase 2 would be self-sustaining. So all the capital raised by this would generate marketing for the idea of 3D printing. So in here, we allow customers to come in and look at some of the prototypes, and they could book it for a night, for a few nights, pretty much like Airbnb, right? Right now, we set up 5 locations in Bangkok.
So this is for rental?
Yeah, this would be phase 2 for rental. It will be prototype where we kind of put 3D printing and conventional printing together as well. This is a rental service. This is phase 2. It's like just generating marketing for the idea of 3D printing. And initially, we try to have each project in different province of Thailand, east, south, north, west. The purpose is to try to get people into 3D printing. So you don't have to want this house specifically, but you might want to see, hey, I don't know if 3D printing would work for my house, so maybe I should go try like an Airbnb product first and see. And this phase 2 will kind of like present our like ingenuity and innovation. So we try to push into more crazy thing. This is very experimental. So this phase 2 will represent how like we're pushing forward as well. So after that, we also features easy way of how to, we already covered how to, how to use the product. So customer can easily use this project. We have news and upcoming events, because we talk a lot about events. And lastly, we have a little bit of our vision and mission. These are the team member, including Ajahn Miguel, younger version here as well.
I know where you are.
Okay, and that I think that concludes our presentation. Thank you very much for bearing with us.